Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. So you're a member of a card kit club. You have plenty left over in your stash from that specific club, and you want to make a quick card. What do? You get everything out, you get some things out from your stash, and you start to play. So I'm going to be using the Stamps of Life May 2022 Oh Happy Day Card Kit Club. And it comes with these handy dandy idea cards. This idea card came with the stamp and die at the beginning of the month. This was the card kit that came at the middle of the month. So we have perfect creativity over here. So what I want to do is I pulled some things out of my stash that I thought would work really well with this specific card kit club. I had a nice background die, which is envelopes with some really cute hearts on it. And because this is a postage to stamp set, and let me pull it out. I have the stamp set and the die set. This is how they come together. I thought fun, but I want to bring some interest to the inside of my card. So I thought this is perfect. This is kind of a go-to for me. It's a pop-out insert die set, and this will just go right inside the card. So I have those. Those are going to go together nicely. I don't have time to color anything because I don't always have that much extra time. When I do and I don't feel like completing a project, sometimes I just sit down and let's get creative, and I play with some inks, create some backgrounds. There's some alcohol inks here. I think those are going to be too bright for what I want to use. I think I want to use this one today because I also want to use, I think, the green or the yellow. I think I want to use the yellow though. Something nice and bright. So what I want to do first is go through the paper pack, which I have loved mine very well. Just go right through the paper pack, and they're double-sided paper, and it's a full paper pack, and sometimes I tear it apart, but that's what the envelope is for, storage. And not everything stays in the envelope perfectly, and not all the bits and pieces stay together and they just absorb into my stash, which is fine too. I try to keep everything semi-organized so I kind of know where I'm looking. But I want to get out one of the pre-printed pieces of paper. Nice thick paper. It's not quite cardstock. It's not low stock quality paper at all. The colors are beautiful. I love it. So it's going to stand up really well in any die cutting machine. I am going to want this to be the focal part of my card. And I have a pre-made card base, which is also another activity I like to do when I don't have time for a full project, or I just want to mindlessly create something in front of the TV or give myself some quiet time and not quite commit to one full task. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut this onto this, and that'll be the background. And then I'm going to put this in the back. So when I get back, that'll all be done because my die cutting machine is across the room and it's quite noisy because it is electronic. I could use my MIDI for this, but I think this might be too intricate, which my MIDI's kind of been my workhorse lately, so I bet you it's up to the task, but I don't know. So I'll be right back. Okay, so that took no time at all, and what I'm going to do is get out my cutter. I have a Fiskars. Kind of move this all out of the way. So this turned out really nicely. It's just the stitches didn't go all the way through, which it's not designed to do that. So it's designed to give it a nice impression. And those colors look really nice with that. So you get the design in there, you get the perfect stitching, you get the hearts that came out, and that's why I wanted to use the yellow. Okay, so for my paper trimmer, like I said, I like to use the Fiskars. I used to use a Cricut paper trimmer, for years. It kind of started failing me towards the end with the bad measurements and the fraying of the paper, and then I think I left it on vacation when I went somewhere, so this gave me the perfect excuse to get a new one, and I love this one. So I'm going to do this the size of my card base, which would be 5.5 by 4 1/4, because I want this to be the background. 4 1/4. If you're not sure where your paper is going to cut with this Fiskars, there's a little piece of wire right here, and it shows you exactly where the blade is going to go. So when you're cutting something pretty intricate or with lines around it, you're going to have no surprises, no disappointments. Okay, let me get out my card base. Have my card base. This is gonna go on top. So it's just kind of like a little bit of a border, which I think I might have mismeasured that just a tiny bit. So what I'm gonna do is I don't really want the full border, I just want the background. I'm just gonna trim a tiny bit off the edge. And this is perfect too, with that little piece of wire that you can see through. So I'm just gonna measure it up, and there we go. So that fits just perfectly. I'm gonna glue it all down. I do use a liquid glue, which I'm running out, so I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. But I use Bearly Art liquid precision craft glue, which you can get this at Sweet Sentiment Stamps. The link is in my bio, and just click on that link. It'll take you right there. Buy your glue. This is perfect glue. It's permanent. It dries clear. It doesn't warp your paper. I love it. So I do store it upside down, especially if I'm running low. Because then everything's ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is just glue this on here, and I have a few minutes, and that just glues right on there. I'm gonna get out my espresso, also from Sweet Sentiment Stamps. Gonna flip my project over and add some pressure. I'm just flattening everything out, adhering the two together, nice and smooth. Now I'm gonna add glue to the back of this card, front. And you can hear that I'm running out. I have some on order, but it's just not quite here yet. And I'm gonna glue this down to the card base. Now, this is a little bit smaller than my card base. I'm okay with that because it gives me a border, and I like that. So it gives me a little bit more interest in the card. Again, I'm just gonna flatten everything out. I use this as a paper scorer, a project flattener, stamp press, because this is perfect, and it's shaped as a little coffee cup, and this is also from Sweet Sentiment Stamps, and that link is in my bio if you're interested in that. Okay, I'm gonna put my pen back in my glue because I don't want to lose it, and I don't want my glue to get all clumpy mid-project. I decided I wanted to use this. I kind of wanted to do something like this, but I didn't get out any ribbon, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm gonna pull back in the yellow so it is nice and tidy, I think. And friends are the sunshine of life. Happy birthday to the best friend a gal could ever have. Nothing beats celebrating you today. I'm not sure which one I want to do. I've never used the stamp set because I've always just used this from the Kit Club. Friends are the sunshine of life is what I want to do, because then I'm going to incorporate the heart into this. So I am going to do that. And I like this because this is fun. It's like a postage stamp, and it came with these fun stickers too, so that's nice. The embellishment. And what I'm going to do is just kind of line it up to see where I want it on my card, what orientation I want it in, and I think I'm going to want it a little bit offset. I'm going to want to cut this, which I have the die for from my Card Kit Club. All of that is going to get cut out, and I could do it with a little bit of a white outline, which I think I'm going to incorporate that because then that'll help incorporate the white border a little bit more into this. And I'm going to have it cut all out. Okay, so now I have these things cut out. My die shifted a little bit while it was in movement. It came off my magnetic plate, which is okay. It kind of gives it a 3D effect, so I'm okay with that. If you really wanted to, you could re-die cut it, or you could just fussy cut the white around it. That's completely up to you. But remember this stamp and die with the die set for the coordinating with the stamp set, it came with the outside and the inside of the heart. So you could have the border around it, or you could not. But these came out perfect. And I just need to stamp my sentiment on here. And what I'm going to do is get out my foam mat from Stamps of Life. I actually bought this at Hobby Lobby years ago. It was like 12 bucks, I think. Hobby Lobby doesn't sell them anymore because she sells them on her site. But, so if you wanted to get a foam mat, it's foam. It's like a spongy foam, but it's really thick and strong. It's not fun foam. And I love it. I've loved mine for years. And it gives me a really good stamping impression, so I don't always have to use my stamping platform. But I've never used this stamp before, so what we're going to do is we're going to test it out on a scratch piece of paper. And I'm just going to get something from the card pack that I've already cut on. Really pretty salmon color. I like it. But I'm going to use this as my scrap. And I have a Fiskars, a well-loved Fiskars acrylic block set. And this has a grid on it, so you can just get right in the middle. And there's no questioning where anything's going. Using my black Onyx VersaFine ink. Just kind of pounce on it for a second. And then I'm going to put it right down in the middle. And I'm just going to let that sit for a second so the ink and paper can meet and connect. And that's the first time I've ever used this stamp. So I did not really need to season it or anything. But in the name of habit, I'm going to get out my microfiber cloth, wipe this off. And now my stamp is seasoned. The more you do that, the more you're seasoning your stamp. So now I'm going to get to the real part of the project and not the scratch part anymore. And make sure I have enough ink. And I'm just going to try to get right in the middle. No guarantee that I will. And just put even pressure on it all the way through. I notice sometimes if I hang on to these two handles, sometimes the middle misses a little bit. So I just put the even pressure right down the middle. I'm going to put the stamping away because that's all the stamping we're going to do for this easy project. These stamp clubs to make it so easy, these card kits, they make it so easy to make a fun card in a pinch. I love it. Okay, gonna get back out my project now. Now would be time to glue. If I wanted to get really creative, I could ink up this paper. But I don't have that much time, extra time in my day today to do that. So I'm not. That's what happens when you try to squeeze some crafting in midweek. I work mental health, so it's really important to get some self-care time in, or else I will just be drained. So I like it in the middle of the week after work to get some fun time in, create something fun, flip this over. Put the pressure down. And it's nice and even. Now I'm going to get out my glue and put this down. And I remember I said I wanted to offset it a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. And if I don't get it perfectly straight, I have a little bit to play with it. But I think that looks good. Just going to make sure it's all flat. You know, with the price of postage keep going up and we don't know what's happening every few months, it feels like, with postage. So I'm trying to keep everything that I know I want to mail pretty flat. So like I am in the Stamps of Life, I could do that crooked, which I might because of the shadow on it. Let's put it down, put some pressure on it. I don't want to move it a whole lot because there is some playtime with the Bearly Art glue. And so we want to put some embellishments on it. Well, perfect, because the Card Kit Club came with the embellishments. So I'm going to open this, and these are white, like an off-white. Open this and we'll get a better look at them. These are more of like an off-white. So I don't know if I just want to put a few in the corner or down here. I don't even know if I need any, to be honest with you. I know, so now we're like, oh, what do we want to do? Well, let's look at the idea card, which, how funny, the idea card has the same, which I think, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but because I just pulled the background die out of my stash, it has the same die because it goes so well with this kit. So, you know, they did the odd numbers in 3, so I don't need them all together. Do different sizes, make it kind of fun, right? So I'm going to take a play out of their book, I think. And I think I'm going to put the bigger one. See, I'm not going to have the bow, right? So I'm just going to put the bigger one kind of in the middle. The medium-sized one, I'm going to go ahead and put up here in the corner. And then I'm going to add a small one. And I could get out tweezers, but this is peeling off so nicely, I don't need to do that. There. And there's my embellishments. And they're different sizes, kind of funky, something a little bit fun and different. So now what we're going to do is we're going to want to get this fun die out. And we could incorporate really the green onto the inside of the card. And what that's going to do is that's just going to pop right out. And so we could put a fun sentiment there if we wanted to. And we could go searching through the paper pad that has fallen apart on me because I've used it so much. And we could do, oh, friends or the sunshine of life. So how perfect would the sunshine scene be? Okay, that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to get back out my die, and this is the inside of the die, so this would fit perfectly. Oops, wrong one. I'm looking at the barn. That's what caught my eye. I'm fall, completely thinking fall here. That would just cut it out just like that, so you wouldn't have the black line. Or I want to get the bigger one. And then I'm going to have a little bit of a border, which I'm always just going to want to tie that white in because I don't want it just to be stark white, right? I don't want that white to look odd and be sticking out, and the back of this card is white. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back over to my die cutting machine and die cut these out. And like I said, my die cutting machine is across the room and it's very noisy, so I'll be right back. Okay. I apologize. I goofed there. I thought I was filming and I totally was not. So I've already glued this on the inside. But I'm going to show you how I did it. So we have this. Oh. We have this is the die. It's the insert pop-out die. And then please do not bend is what this says. So this could go, excuse me, this could go on the envelope. It could go on the card. This is another little decorative piece. And we have the Oh Happy Day down here because that did come with this. And I think I do remember this coming. Oh, this was with this. Oh, okay. I just didn't see. There's my memory. I try to keep all my card kits together. Oh no, this is a different card kit. So this came with a different card kit, which was Oh Happy Day. But I had absorbed this into my stash. I put this with this postage stamp, so whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Everything goes together anyway. See how that works? So I did die cut it out, and I believe I got my sticky glue fingers on it, so apologize. So what I did was I folded the 2 tabs, which would be these 2 tabs on the end. I folded them. I hope you can see it. So I folded them down to go towards the card. I use my liquid glue. You can use whatever you want. And I lined it right up with the crease of my card, okay? And then I shut it, and I flipped it over, and I used my espresso to make sure it was nice and down, all right? And then when you open it, it's just gonna pop out like that, and it kind of gives you some fun interest for the card. But it's perfectly flat for mailing, so you can mail this. And they might need to pop it out a little bit, and then when it sits, it'll sit like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover up my glue prints over here. I'm going to put this down, and that's going to be the inside of the card. I'm going to write my message over here when I'm ready to send it off, and I know who I want to send it to. And we have a really quick and easy card, you guys. This is perfect. I love just quick and easy. I love complicated and let's do all the things and let's do mixed media and let's take some time and make a real masterpiece. I love that too. I love it all. So there we go. Friends of the Sunshine of Life. This does not have to be a birthday card. This can be an anything card. And then so for funsies, I'm going to use the postage stickers that it came with it. And I have a personalized stamp. And that's what I'm going to use. Just put this on the back. So it all ties in. Everything from one card kit and some things in my stash. How much fun is that, right? So let me get out my personalized stamp, which I don't have a so much glitter personalized stamp yet. So I have a an original creation made by Carrie with the barcode on it. And I just go ahead and ink it up. Sometimes I have difficulties because of the barcode, but it's okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this on the back, put my pressure in the middle, and leave it there for a few seconds. And there we go. An original creation made by Carrie. Then I got a little bit of ink everywhere, but we're okay. It's because I had extra glue on my hands. So, and that pops out. There's the card. Quick and easy card. Friends of the Sunshine of Life. Everything from one card kit club. Which here's the idea card for the Oh Happy Day. Oh, it is the same. So it came with the card kit. I think this was a freebie and I got this. But I use this a lot, so I just put this in my stash. I honestly forgot that it was with this club, but whatever. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And I have ink all over my finger now, so that's fabulous. Let's close everything up. Let's not touch the card again until I wash my hands, and I hope you guys have a very crafty day. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to see you until next time. Bye!